Okay, we're looking today at the slam dunk paragraph style. This is the last of our paragraph style we're looking at. This is a little bit more involved, and using this sort of paragraph style is going to help, especially we're looking at merit excellence because it requires a little bit more detail, a little bit more judgment. If we look at what, just the general description of what we have to do, we open with a question. We have an adverb sentence that hints at the answer to that question. We deliver some evidence. There might be 3 or more sentences there, and we've got at least a couple of sentences that describe the impact, discuss the impact, and we finish with a very short sentence that drives home our point. So let's have a bit of a look at this now. I've put the question that we've been looking at in as a reference, describe one way that the character individual changed in the text and how this change was important to the text as a whole. And I've also just pasted in there a little bit from my plan. And the plan was what we did with the brainstorm activity, where we had a bit of a plan for each of the 3 paragraphs we are going to do. And so I put, as part of the plan for this paragraph, how chaos forces change. Christopher discovers the truth. He's forced out of his comfort zone to visit his mother in London. And so my first sentence, the question, the W start sentence, when did Christopher change and why was that important? And our adverb start sentence, significantly, Christopher discovers his mother's letters, which reveal his father's deceit. This puts into motion a series of events that mean Christopher has to travel to London. This requires change. And our evidence, feeling disorientated and disturbed, Christopher climbs into the luggage shelf opposite the toilet on the train because it made me think of the airing cupboard at home and how I climb in there sometimes and it makes me feel safe. Notice I've got that in quotation marks. It's just a quote from the text. To keep his mind off the situation, he does quadratic equations, and I made some of the coefficients large so they were hard to solve. Okay, once again, another little quote. Our final couple of sentences. The impact, unlike earlier in the novel when Christopher was even unwilling to talk to anyone he didn't know, he talks to a number of people, including asking for help and directions. These examples show he is changing in order to cope with unfamiliar and stressful situations, which help illustrate Haddon's idea. And we've got our slam dunk sentence. Chaos forces a positive change. And that's just an example of how we might write a slam dunk paragraph.